We say all praise and honor and glory unto the Most High Father, by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, for this good Shabbat day that He has given us. My name is Minister Yeshar, and to my left,
My name is Minister Dawat.
and we thank you for being present on the live this day. And this is our pleasure to bring the word of the Most High to the masses. So before we start, as always, remember this is your community, GYC community, so we encourage you to share the live as much as you can. And subscribe to our channel. So let's share that live as we speak.
For those on the other side, please keep it down. Thank you.
All right, so we have a pretty interesting lesson and topic today. Let me just finish sharing this. Right on. All right, let's get to it, shall we? Our lesson today is strong, independent, and single forever. The American doctrine. Strong, independent, and single forever. All right, so we had this lesson is inspired by the poem. You know how the Vashti, you refused to come to her man and doing whatever she wanted to do. And how she lost power because of her strong-minded. Now be mindful, we're not against a woman being strong or independent. I'm going to say that. We're not against a woman being strong and independent. But there's a way to go about it. There's a way to be strong that doesn't pit you against the man. And there's a way to be independent that doesn't tell that you don't need no man. You understand? Now, get me Psalm 94 and 16 to open up. And we greet everybody on the live stream and we salute you by Hashem Yahushua.
Hallelujah. The book of Psalm 94, verse 16.
Good.
Who will rise up for me against the evildoers, or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?
Right. Who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? Now get me Proverbs 31. Let's start there. Bear with me. All right? Proverbs 31, let's start with verse 1. Okay, so a lot of time people don't understand what it means to be strong and independent. All right, so we've listened to the media that teach the black woman how to be strong and how to be. And a lot of time when we come out and teaching you how to be according to the Bible, you go against that. But yet you're going to sit there and listen to the same oppressor and the same slave master that have taught you lies for 400 years. And the end result is what we have today. Broken relationships, no marriage, men not willing to take you. A bunch of children running wild in the hood, killing our own people, terrorizing black folk. And all that is happening. And now our women are desperate for men. They're going every show, every places, They dress any kind of way, trying to attract attention, but it's not happening. Why? Because a lot of you have been Americanized and indoctrinated in the system. The system is not in your favor, and it's not going to work for you. All right? So let's show that in the Bible, man. The American doctrine that's destroying the black community. All right, let's bring it out. All right? Proverbs 31, verse, let's start in verse 2. Verse 10. Let's start in 10. Proverbs 31 and 10. Let's start.
The book of Proverbs 31, verse 10.
Read.
Who can find a virtuous woman?
Who can find a virtuous woman? Read.
For her price is far above rubies.
Right, look up the word virtuous for me in the dictionary, bro. All right, who can find a virtuous woman? All right, so let's see what that means to be virtuous. The meaning they have on the dictionaries. Although the Bible will do a great job as describing what does it mean to be virtuous. But I know for sure that's something we lack of in this society, though. Lack of virtuous women. And you can ask my brothers, they're trying to find one. And I tell them all day long, good luck, man. And they said, you're going to need a good luck to find it. Even in the truth, it's hard to find those that come in the truth. Most of them that come in the truth, they are married. Take him. Take him. And some of them that come in single, you know, the brothers, man, they're like, man, sister. You walk in there, man, you're going to get snatched before you step in the door. Because brothers looking for virtuous women that bad. It's not, and I realize something, man. You know, it's not that men don't need women, they just need a good woman. You see, but the minute a woman walk in a Hebrew school and she's single, I see these brothers, they're like, man, that's mine. You see, it's not that brothers don't need women, but they're scared of these women out there, man. They're scared of all these wickedness these women do out there. And the mindset they have. They're scared to be committed to a woman who's gonna bring hell on earth. And do all kind of wickedness. So there's good men out there, but they're just scared. You understand? So that's why the only people that approach a woman in these days are wicked men. You understand? Because we men, we need to kind of know who you are. Plus, we know there's a big problem now. You may see a woman working, but it's a dude. It's a dude, look like a woman, they do reduction now, breast, everything. They even put the thing down there for them too. You might think it's a woman, it's a dude. So a lot of men are approaching women as they used to. We scared. Yeah, we don't know you like that, you know. For you know, you were born a woman, you were born a man, but now you're a woman. Now you've been married to a man for 30 years.
You'd be like, what's up, little shorty? What's up?
Oh, but now they give them hormone pills, man, so their voice could sound like women too. They give them, you know, they can do. Yeah, go back on the Google and see how we do.
That's good.
It's good?
Yeah.
All right, so I apologize for the little problem. We back. All right, so resuming with the strong, independent black women. Yes. Yes, sister, how you doing? Good, good. Good to see you. Give that sister a hand, man. She come back. Okay. We appreciate you, sis. But we're talking about a very sensitive topic, sis. Be with us. But everything we do is by the Bible, so things may get offended, but Bible says the word is a sword with two-edged sword. It's gonna cut you off and it's gonna heal you too. Because America has done so much damage to our women. You understand? We do fix our men, but today it's the women's turn. You know, they've done so much damage to the women, and a lot of them don't even realize it. And this is why we have, you know, a lot of issues in their marriages because both the men and the woman don't know how to behave. Instead, we spend all our time blaming each other. We don't blame the system and for what's going on in the system. And that has brainwashed us. And we don't any black man should never think that the system is in your own advantage. Understand? Because it's all based on bias and racism. Understand? And everything they teach us here is to divide and conquer. That's the American doctrine. Divide and conquer. How do we pit the black women against the black men? So they're going to teach you jacked up doctrine such as, strong, black, and independent. You don't need no man. Why would you say that? That's why we're going over it today. All right? So, whoa, brother. All right, Proverbs 31, verse 10. Read that. Proverbs 31, verse 10. Oh, we were at virtuous. What does the word virtuous mean? The Bible says, who can find a virtuous woman? So let's see what that term means in the dictionaries. Virtuous.
The word virtuous is having or showing high moral standards. Righteous.
Righteous.
Good.
Good.
Moral. Ethical. Upright.
All the good stuff. So who can find a virtuous woman? Who can find a righteous woman? You understand? What does that mean to be righteous, though? According to the Bible. What verse is that, sis? No, I'll ask for precepts. What? 625, yes, Deuteronomy 625. Those are basic scriptures, sisters. Deuteronomy 625. Let's see what does that mean to be righteous. You see, the Bible don't leave anything to the guessing. If it says righteous, that it means something. If it says in the Bible, believe, it's not just a word. It means something in the Bible. You don't just say, I believe in God. No. If you believe in God, you're going to do what God said. If you say love, it's not a word in the Bible. It's a concept. It means something. You see, the word righteous also means something. Deuteronomy 6:25. So let's see what that means to be righteous. So to be virtuous, the Bible says, who can find a righteous woman with high moral standards? You see, this is what we're talking about. A lot of our men, we want women, but we're scared of these women out there. You understand? Because a lot of these women, they look so pretty and nice and things of that sort. You understand? But deep down, man, you're gonna catch hell with these women in the house. So that's why these women be like, we're not getting approached. No man is checking us out. We dress naked. No one still come. You understand? You know why? Because there's nobody virtuous. We know, and I was watching on the internet, a lot of women saying no men want to get married anymore. Why would we? You understand? We know what's gonna happen from there. You got a suit. It's like we trapped. You understand? As soon as we get married, you're gonna do things till we wanna leave you. You're gonna give child support. Then you're gonna take half of our stuff. You understand? So why would we wanna get married? So you can take our stuff. You understand? And that's how it end up. Like a lot of these men, especially those men with money, they don't wanna get married. You're just gonna take all our stuff. You understand? As soon as we get married, because you're wicked.
Especially just the idea of men hearing, oh, you're going to put me on child support. They'll be like, man, I ain't doing this.
You understand? Like, if that's what's going on. But we know the men have a lot to blame. Yeah. You understand? In the whole situation, especially our men. You understand? But today is the woman part to correct. You understand? We fix both our men and our women in this community. All right? With that, Deuteronomy 6:25.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse 25.
Bring that out.
Deuteronomy 6:25. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments which the Most High our power as he hath commanded us.
So if someone say what does that mean to be righteous, what we gonna tell them? What is righteousness? Read that again, brother.
Deuteronomy 6, verse 25.
Right.
And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments.
Right. So this is our righteousness. That's how you become right. Okay. That's when you be not right. You become righteous. All right. You know, because right is something to the standards but of every people, but righteous is when you're doing what the Most High command you to do. Right? So it shall be our righteousness. So let's go back to Proverbs 31. So the Bible says, who can find a virtuous woman? Where are we going to find that one at? Understand? So that's why these brothers, man, they're scared out here. You know what I'm saying? You see this sister, I'm like, yeah, she's beautiful, but you don't know if she's not the devil incarnated. You know what I'm saying? You know, we stay away from that. You understand? So good brothers are not approaching good women. Are not approaching women as they should because of all this evil that's going on. Alright?
Proverbs 31, verse 10.
Read.
Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies.
Her price is what?
Is far above rubies.
Right. It's far above money and anything precious. If she is virtuous. If she is righteous. You understand? You can't, there's no money that can be compared to a value. But that's the problem. It's to find one. That's the question. Who can find it? All right, read on.
Verse 11.
Uh-huh.
The heart of her husband do safely trust in her.
Right, that's what it means to be virtuous. You know, we know you ain't cheap. You understand? We trust you. You good. You understand? We not gonna, like, you know, we don't have to be watching on, you know, everywhere, like checking your phone. You know, where you been at 2 hours ago? You know, it's been 3 minutes. All right, so we trust you. You
It's
know,
already past 30 seconds.
it's 30 seconds. Where you been? Okay, we have to go on your Facebook and check every friends and every comment.
That's a full-time job, man.
There's a boy that like your page. So we don't have to do that because she's a virtuous woman. She knows her boundaries. She respects herself. She got high moral standards. Read on.
So that he shall have no need of spoil.
You don't need spoil, man. You don't need people's stuff. You understand? Why? Because, you know, he's good. You don't need harlots. That's what that spoil means as well. He don't need harlots. He don't need to go around and be with different women. Because his wife is so good. He take care of him so good. He's not hungry. He's good. You understand? Right? He's taken care of. Daytime and nighttime. He's good. You understand? You don't need spoil. Right? Read on.
Right,
He's fully satisfied.
all right, brother. She will do him good and not evil at the days of her life.
You see that? She will do him good. She will do him good. Not evil. For you know it, he smash your wife. He smash your wife. Everybody smashing. That's what's going on, man. There's a lady she was saw on Facebook. She got 2 boyfriends. You know, talking about she got, and they're proud talking about it. So why would I want to, like, I'm glad the Most High gave me a wife already, man. I'd be scared too. You understand? I'd be scared going out there getting a woman. It's so much going on, man. Yep. And you can marry that woman, but just the way she is in the house is just so difficult to deal with. You know, but that's why, man, we have to teach our sisters again how to be good women. Because the system has done mess them up. Read on.
Says, she seeketh wool and flax and work willingly with her hands.
And what?
And work willingly with her hands.
Right. The biblical woman is not what they're taught you in Christianity. Biblical woman is a woman that works. She's independent. I told you, a woman could be independent, but she's not that American independent. Independent in that case simply means she work. She do things. She's not just sitting home and not working, and you know, and you know, that's what the strong woman of the Bible means. But let's see after she work what she does with that money. If she go out, put long nails and curse men out, talking about I don't need no man. Let's see if that's what she does with that money. Read.
She is like the merchant ships. She bringeth her food from far.
From what?
From afar.
She traveled far to get her food. Man, I used to witness my grandma. She would travel miles upon miles to go get coals to go sell in another part of the country. Literally. These women used to work really hard.
Like penguins.
Yeah. You understand? She literally get her merchandise and go sell. She would go across the sea. You understand? But she was never like, I'm a strong black woman. I don't need no man. Yeah, and she's strong and independent.
How you strong, you single, and you independent at the same time?
Right? Let's read on. You can be strong and independent, but there's a way to go about it. You understand? That strength doesn't mean, oh, I'm strong. I got to fight a man. I got to be 50-50 with you. You understand? And don't be proud because you make your own money. Because this is what Satan actually wanted from the beginning. When I say Satan, our enemies. You understand? The word shaitan in the Hebrew means enemy. Okay? Because from the beginning, what they wanted to do with the slaves, separate them. Wife from husband, and you know, that's what they wanted. So if they can keep you talking like that, you know, I was saying this earlier. The people that are most likely to be successful are people that are married. Because I work, you work, we put our money together. If I fall sick, I get handicapped, or you know, I get something happen to me, you can keep pushing until I recover. You understand? But if they manage to break their family, that's how you break economy. You understand? That's how kids raise up to be terrorists and terrorizing black folks. You understand? This is what they wanted all along, that a woman should be talking. And we have that in the Willie Lynch letter here. It's coming up too. And they wrote about what they're going to do to you black women. How they're going to make you talk in that book right here. How they're going to put you against your husband. Against your man. Talking about, no, a strong black woman actually support her household. You understand? She helped out. She raised her children. All right, read on that. Let's see what that woman do after she traveled from far.
She rise also while it is yet night.
When she rise?
She rise also while it is yet night.
Right. You're talking about you're a strong woman, but it's 12, you're still in bed. That's not what a strong woman is according to the Bible. A strong woman work early, wake up early while it's still night. She go to work. That's used to be our foremothers. I used to live in Haiti. They would wake up so early and they go to gardens. I used to see the women planting too. Yeah. But these women out there, man, they're so weak, and they think they're strong though. They just got a 9 to 5 and they're tired. Their body hurt, you know. But I've seen these women in Haiti, man. They'll work from morning to almost afternoon, and they're still good. And they come home, they take care of them in business too at night. You understand? But these women used to work hard.
Yeah.
You know, that's what the Bible's talking. Who can find such a woman? You understand? Read on.
And giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens.
You see that? So when she bring that money, she bring meat to where? Her household. She bring that money home. She don't be, oh, it's my money. See that now? That's what we call a strong woman. You understand? She work. She's not lazy. You understand? Then when she bring that money, she bring it home. It's our money. You understand? And we prosper. Read on. Let's keep seeing some characteristics.
Verse 16, she considered her field and buy it. With the fruits of her hands, she planted a vineyard.
You see that? She's a businesswoman. Right? She saw her field like, we can invest in that. Yeah. Like, okay. Maybe I think that's a good field, man. I'm going to buy that. So good. You know, and with her own money, she built up a whole vineyard. She had a whole garden. She started business. Mm-hmm. Huh? Let me tell you something. You see, if you have a woman in your hand that do business, it's gonna be really hard for you to leave her. She's a keeper. Where you going? She have business going on. You understand? She's doing business. She played her own business. Like, you gonna leave a woman like that? She have her own business. Talk about she's planting business, investing, and doing all that. Where you going? That's what we call independent. But she's not selfish though. She's having business, doing all those things by herself. But yet she understands it's our money. I'm doing this for my household, my family. Where you going? Let me tell you, most likely a man gonna leave you because you ain't got nothing in your hand. But if you got a business going, like he's like, man, I got much to lose if I leave that woman. Right? I'm gonna lose.
And besides, you know, as a man, if he see you doing something, he's gonna worry about you less than compared to if you just sit down and you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, but guess what, man? There's certain things, let me tell you, there's few things that keep a man in a marriage. Now, I'm going to tell you some. One, children. There's people that stay in marriage just because of their kids. Two, businesses. If they got business, that's the way you keep a man. You have a business going for yourself as a woman, that man, before he leave you, be like, man, where am I going to find a business woman like that? You understand? Actually doing things. Unless you really do something bad to that man, I don't see him leaving. He ain't going nowhere. You understand? Yeah, you can be independent, but at the same time, you're independent, but you're dependent. When it comes to you doing business, you can work, but at the end of the day, you bring that to your house, and we won. Right? Children and business is one of those two things that keep people together. Okay? So now, let's keep reading, brother. Let's see some more.
Verse 17. She girded her loins with strength and strengthening her arms.
You see that? She's a strong woman. She's strengthening her arms. She's strong. She worked, but like, look, a lot of these black women that talk about every strong black women, they ain't even working. They ain't doing nothing for their lives. How you a strong black woman, but you ain't working? The Bible says, you see, that's a strong woman. She's strengthening her arms, and she what she does with that arm? Does she lift it in the air? Like earlier I put on Google, strong black woman. One of them like, strong black woman. By doing that, she thinks she's strong. No, being strong is a concept, man. It ain't just like you're strong and you know you can't do nothing. Read.
She perceived that her merchandise is good, and her candle goeth not out by night.
Right. So you see that when she's strong, she noticed merchandise. She's a businesswoman.
She's making money.
She's making money for her household. Not to be like, I don't need no man. But a lot of time, man, when Satan gives these women money, man, that money comes with pride. And they forget they have the scarcity with men. There's less men. Is that starting? Yes. Yeah. Right. There's a scarcity with men. What does that mean? On every 15 women, there's about one man. Right? On every 15 women, there's about one man. So this is what's happening right now. By the age of 20, most men already have kids. Most men already have kids. By the time they even finish high school, they got kids. So that already take a lot of men off the market. By the age of 25, yeah, they're pretty much married. Then take it. Yeah, well, if you at that age as a woman, you still haven't had a boyfriend or someone else, yeah, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be real bad to even find a man. So a lot of time, I met a sister once. She's like, man, I'm just trying. I'm not doing man because I used to know her in high school. I'm like, you know, I was telling her I got kids. Like, wow, what? And like any boyfriend or anything, she's like, nah, I'm focused on school. I'm like, sister, how old are you? Like, I'm 27. I laugh. I'm like, by that age, after you finish school, your degree will be your husband, right? Because honestly, I always tell a young woman, it's best to get a man while you're 20 and grow with him. As you go into school, don't get pregnant, don't do stupid things, but make sure he's here. You understand? Go to school and learn what you gotta learn, and tell him that, look, this is the plan. I'm going to school. I'm not gonna get pregnant right now. I'm not doing this, but I want you here.
Establish your goal.
You understand? And I want you to do the same. Grow with me so we can get to that level. If you can find a man that can do that for you, you're good. But if you're gonna you're gonna finish school, then get a man. And
Good luck trying to.
I know several ladies, man. They're 29, they can't find no man. It's a plague. And on top of that, if you're talking about you don't need no man, you're independent, strong black woman. As I say, that's a code word for run. If you tell any man that you telling him run. Because that's what we do. Because that thing is associated with loud mouth black women, women that are selfish, women that think that they're a boss. That's what we see you as when you say things like that. So better don't say things like that if you're trying to increase your chances, especially if you're in the older ages.
Those are alert words.
Alert words, red flags. You understand? You better ask my brothers here, man. They hear that from you, man. They flee when no man pursue it. You understand? We out. All right. So let's read on, brother. Where we at?
We're currently on verse 20.
Right.
She stretched out her hand to the poor, yet she reached forth her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet.
You see that? Just because of her house is clothed in scarlet. Red is royalty. Because she walks so hard. She's not afraid of the snow. You know, you got these women in the United States talking about strong black women in school. Can't go to work. It's snowing. It's cold outside. There's a lion on the way. I got excuses.
But it says on verse 20 that she helped out the poor, the needy as well.
Yeah, again, yeah.
You
She
know?
helped the needy.
Like her.
Yeah, she helped the needy. She clothed her household. You understand? Include her husband and her children, man. She do all that. At the same time, she's working. She's taking care of the house.
Yep.
You understand? Now we know the man is also working, but she's just doing her part. That's what strength means, man. They give you an illusion of strong women in America. That's not there. Because a lot of these women, they're just looking for men to give them money. Or they're just popping children for tax season.
And that comes something too. That comes respect. You see, like most women that actually working and taking care of themselves, their husband will most likely respect. In a certain words, they're not gonna say to them. Like I'm talking about the wicked one. Understand? But as a man, you understand that you're supposed to be providing for your household. But some women who actually work, most men they would actually respect them.
Let me tell you, man. You marry a businesswoman, you ain't going nowhere.
Yep.
Period.
You a keeper.
Understand? You marry a woman that's do business, that love to do business, you ain't going nowhere. Yeah. That's not easy to find, and that's a profit for you as a man.
Yep.
Understand? So now, get me Isaiah 3 and 12. So before Isaiah 4 and 1, get me Isaiah 4 and 1, then we're gonna get Isaiah 3 and 12. Now this is the end result of a strong black woman in America, right? And that's what's happening right now. Read that, right?
The book of Isaiah, chapter 4, verse 1.
Read.
And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man,
Read.
saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach.
Right. So that day is here. Okay, where women is desperate for men. And on top of that, you notice what it says? They say, we got our own bread. We got our own money. We just need a man. We just need to get married. We got degrees out here, man. Why can't we? I literally see that sister, and she's like, why can't we find men? Like, we got degrees, we got money. that strong women with that money independent mindset, you can have $1 million and no man want that. You understand?
And
So
especially if you're not looking good.
you understand? But I think men is not scared more of the beauty. It's more about the mindset. You understand? Especially one thing women assume is not always true. If the woman got money, she's like that. She already have that money. If we see she got it good, like stay away from that. And she driving nice BMW. She probably one of them strong black women. Stay away. She's like 46. I'm like, I know you. That's it for you, sister. At that point, I don't know.
It's very hard.
You know. You know, it's like even now, if your husband die and you still young woman, it's gonna be so. And if you have kids, oh man, that cut your chance to 95%. You got 5% chance. Because these men, they're like, man, I don't take no women with kids.
And this is the problem that our leaders are not really teaching the people. You know, they keep on telling them, oh yes, you know, yeah, go to school, go get a degree, but they forget about building a family.
Right.
Understand? How do you build a family? Teaching them to be responsible. Understand? So,
man. But read that, man. So it says 7 women gonna take hold of one man and say, look, we have money, we have houses, we have degrees, just marry us. That's what it's coming to. Because as we can see, our women are desperate. And every nation are taking notice. Now these women, they're gonna be Chinese if they have to. You understand? They anything they can get. They try to get black men, they see a Chinese, they got Chinese. Because they're desperate out here. Because no man is approaching them. Because did you know half of the male population of black men are in prison? Half. About 18 million. So most of us are in prison. The rest are wicked, and the rest are gay. So we have a gay section, a wicked section, and a jail section. So the good men are left is very scarce. It's from 5%. So if you don't get one early, or you know you're waiting till you got a kid, or you don't choose the right person, he left you with kids, feel so sorry for you. Now get me Ecclesiastes 9:2. So we were telling earlier how it's important to be married because what? Economically, this is how you found a family. Read that. Ecclesiastes 4:9.
the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, verse 9.
Bring that up.
2 are better than 1.
2 are what?
2 are better than 1.
2 are better than 1. Read.
Because they have a good reward for their labor.
So when they work together, they have a good reward. If your wife is getting, let's say, 40,000 a year, like minimum, and you getting 40,000 a year, you realize that's 80,000. You understand? It could be more. Just you and your wife. If you getting 100,000 a year, for a typical black man in America, that's something that can actually build something. 2 is better than 1. That's the advantage of marriage. And they understand that. They say, man, look, man, I'm going to tell you something, brothers and sisters. This system set us up in every way possible. Set us up in every way possible. Even if you're going to rent house, like the family, they want that destroyed. They want everybody to be on their own. They don't want us unite. Talking about, black men married and building business. You'd have too many black men getting out of poverty and getting out of, because what do they call us? They call us the workforce. So the plan is to keep the black men and the black women in the workforce. Make sure economically they stay down. So we're gonna do anything. We're gonna brainwash them. We're gonna put policies, racist policies, to keep them in the workforce. By example, let's take some of these policies. household, like let's say if you're renting house, right? They say only one parking or certain parking restriction. Now you'd be like, what does that have to do with family? Well, actually, if you have like let's say 4 people in a house and you have one parking, how they supposed to stay and live together for long?
Where they gonna park their cars?
Where they gonna park their cars? Let's say you allow me to be in an apartment with 4 people, but you only give me one parking
And one guest.
and one guest. And the rest, you're trying to tow them every day. So you see, these policies are telling black people, they're teaching us languages. This is silent racism. You know, they're telling you, look, you can't stay in here. You can't stay together. I want everybody to get your own apartment. I'm going to oppress you so you can get your own place. I don't want y'all to live together because if you do, you're going to put your money together and be able to pay that house. And actually have some more money to build a business. I don't want that. I want all of you to have a house. So I'm going to restrict parking. Another thing, they may say, look, you guys together, you make too much money. You're not qualified. But again, you're not even qualified for something else because it's too expensive.
But you gotta see that way though. Most white people, they purchase their own house, right?
They're not dealing with that. That
They're not
system
dealing
is
with this.
for you.
Yes.
You understand? That system, you can't have that many people in the house, or you overqualified. You got too much money for that house. You understand? This is all system implemented, and on top of it, you got the strong, independent black women, teaching them they don't need no man.
Only if you have the eyes to see, man. Because there's this customer that I work for, on Miami. Around this neighborhood, only houses. You would not see any apartments. Just house that belong to one person. Understand? But in our neighborhood, you see a bunch of apartments. What do you think it is for? For black folks. Because we can't afford to buy like a property that's around like $500,000. Plus, they check your credit. Black people don't have good credit like that.
Right.
So those are the restrictions.
We're people already in poverty. Where we gonna get credit?
Yeah.
You understand? Borrowing all day and always getting credit cards. You understand? And they're gonna give you these credit cards to get you jacked up. So the whole point, look, any way we can, jack them up, keep them in the working class.
Yeah.
Give them credit card. We know they ain't gonna be able to pay. We're gonna catch them one day when poverty hit.
Families, sometimes you get the credit card, they use the credit card.
Look, man, when they figure out the first way they figured out to jack us up was the prison system, slavery. Right? They're like, okay, if we put them in prison, if we put them in jail, we give them a record, they can't work. So they can't become managers, they can't become certain things. So good. They're like, but what about those that don't go to jail? We got to jack them up too. Credit card. Give them a credit card because those are the good Negroes. They ain't going to jail for nothing. Understand? So give them credit card. What about those that don't take credit card? Brainwash them. So in any way that we cannot build the family structure that we need.
And you gotta understand, the only reason you need a credit card because you broke.
Right? You're broke.
You don't have money. The Jewish folks, when they buy cash. What do I need a credit for? Because if I have money,
credit is for the poor.
Understand? You can negotiate with someone if you go purchase a property and say, I want this for $100,000. You don't want it, you just walk out.
And here's the new system. That's crazy now. If you're renting a house, application fees alone.
Oh boy.
And a lot of them, they know you ain't getting the house. They still let you apply and keep that money.
Yeah.
They're sucking you dry at every point. You understand? So this is what we live in. So we have to play smart. We need to understand the system. If you don't understand the system, you'll be victimized.
Yeah.
You understand? You need to understand the system. Now get me Isaiah 3:12. So in these last days, women gonna be like, man, I got money. Some of you, because the women, they go easier on the women for a reason, and we're gonna see that in the Willie Lynch letter. Why? The woman have it a little bit easier. This is all part of the scheme. You understand? Read on.
Isaiah chapter 3, verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them.
Who rule over them?
Women rule over them.
As for my people, women rule over them. Children oppress them, and women is the rule. Women is the boss. Read on.
Women rule over them. O my people, they which let thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy path.
Right, so those people that are leading us, they, who's the they? Caucasians, your pastor, TV, Facebook. Okay?
Instagram.
Those are the people that cause you to make mistakes. That's what err means. You understand? That cause you to be underdeveloped. You cannot progress. Because they're teaching you bad stuff. They're giving you bad advice. You got Beyonce talking about, I'm a single lady. Is she single?
Jay-Z sleeping behind her every night.
Well, as far as I know, she ain't single. But she's singing single, I'm a single lady. And you got these black dumb women talking about, you know, I'm a single lady and I don't want to see no ring.
She has the words that when she's
You understand? She's a single lady.
She's a single lady.
and she got
See, they're brainwashing you, man.
That's crazy, man.
And a lot of you come out, you love Beyonce, you think she's teaching you something. You're gonna know. Still got Jay-Z. And you got Nicki Minaj singing trash only. And all these, there's another one that's worse now. Cardi, that's even worse.
And that other black lady.
You know, and as we saw in the video, as soon as her daughter walked in the room, she stopped playing that damn song. She don't want her daughter to learn what she's preaching. But she wants to get in your head. Understand? Because she's getting paid for that. They're paying her to destroy the black woman. But a lot of you take your time and listen to that trash. You know, I was waiting for the school, the children's school. I'm like, man, I haven't listened to any of that trash in a long time. Let me listen to some trash. I'm like, okay, I see Cardi B. I'm like, I just open it. I'm like, oh my God. It just got worse. Turn it off, boy. And I had to turn it off. I'm like, man, I can't take no more of this trash. I feel like I was eating in a garbage can. Man, I'm like, y'all listening to this? Is this legal? But these women, man, they're getting paid to destroy black people, man. They're paying them millions for that. All right? So women rule over our men.
No, only that's why the scripture says on Isaiah 4:6, it says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. You know, why would you think, you know, if you really had the knowledge of the Most High, for people to pay just someone millions of dollars to teach, to preach that their people are whores or whoremongers or stealers, understand? So why would you pay someone so much money just for that, if they were not seeking to destroy you as a people? But that's one thing. We as a people, we don't have that knowledge. We just accept whatever they give to us. Understand? What does the scripture call it?
Right, so that's the Willie Lynch letter. That side said the breaking process of the African woman. Right? Right, so this is called the Willie Lynch letter. And that's what they have done to you, black women. You need to wake up, man. And a lot of you think we're crazy for talking like that. It's not us that's crazy, it's just the system is too crazy. You'll sound crazy in a crazy world when you wake up. You understand? Read that.
So it's the breaking process of the African women.
That broke you down. Read.
Then take the female and run a series of tests on her to see if she will submit to your desire willingly.
So they've been testing you, you know, brainwash you, training you so you can submit to white system willingly. And that's why certain things they do, we're going to see that, is for you to submit to the system and to hate the black man. All right, read.
Test her in every way because she is the most important factor for a good economy.
You see that? She's what?
She's the most important factor for good economy.
So you're gonna see why. She's the main factor for a good economy. For the white men to keep making money, they need your black women. They need to teach you a strong black independent woman, so you can keep bossing your behind for nothing.
And a lot of our sisters, man, they be working so hard, like I'm talking crazy hard, and them bosses, they be like bossing them out.
You don't know. You're a good money making machine. They say the black man, yeah, we need the black men too, but the black woman, that's the most important. Why? Read.
If she shows any sign of resistance and submitting completely to your will, do not hesitate to use the bullwhip on her to extract the last bit of bitch out of her. So like
So
that's
they say, man, if she don't you want to submit to, make sure you beat her up. That's your America that you love, you follow, and you want to follow the ideology of America. That's how they see you. That's how they used to treat you until you are the way you are today. The way you talk. Read.
Take care not to kill her, for in doing so you spoil good economics. When in complete submission, she will train her offspring in the early years to submit to labor when they become of age.
You see that? What previously they talk about the men. The men, what we need to do, throw them in jail and destroy them. Okay? And make sure that the women have no respect for the men. Alright? Go to the next page after that.
Says,
But why they want to destroy the black woman? Because she can destroy her offspring. Especially when the man is no longer in the house. She's going to be the one training these kids. She's going to be the one spending more time with these kids. So she can teach them the system.
right.
Because the man is not the man one in contact with the children. So they don't care about the woman, they care about the children. You got to teach the woman to teach the children how to be good slaves.
And as you can see the best results, you see most young boys right now, either they effeminate, they gay, or, you know, they're just living like they don't got no life.
Right. And all these men, all they want to do is get a job.
Yeah. 9 to 5.
Get a 9 to 5. The end result. Keep them in the look, man. This is a workforce. Everything they do, it's for money. Remember that. Everything they do is for economy. So they cannot afford to let black people. Remember, black people is like the Chinese of the world, except in America. That's how they keep labor cheap. That's how they do things cheap. That's with their little donkey. They can't let you escape that economy. You understand? They can't let you have wealth. You understand? Read on. Let's see what else.
Understanding is the best thing. Therefore, we shall go deeper into this area of the subject matter concerning what we have produced here in this breaking process of the female nigger. We have reversed relationship. In her natural uncivilized state, she would have a strong dependency on the uncivilized nigger male.
Right, in her, what they call it, in her natural uncivilized state. Right, so they say, you see when the white men say, we civilize you, it's a racist thing they say. Because to them, when you are civilized, you depend on them. We train, when they say we civilize black people, that means we train you to be a slave. Because what they're saying here, we have reverse relationship. When she wasn't civilized, she would rely on the Negro for food and everything. But now that she has been civilized, she don't need the Negro anymore. Read on. You see, that's where the whole independent mindset come from.
I tell you, she would have a strong dependency on the uncivilized nigger male.
So if we didn't civilize her, she would rely on her black man. Mm-hmm. So really, if you're talking about black and independent and strong black women, you're a civilized negress, man. That means you've been brainwashed. I mean, you're a good slave of the system. When you talk about, I don't depend on no man. That's because they've done you some harm right here. You've been completed. And the system love. You see, that's why they give them platform on the views and the morning shows, so they can talk trash.
And their goal is to destroy the reputation and the image of the black man.
Always.
As you can see, even some of the basketball players, they have their mothers and stuff. They always come on TV and say, "Oh, that's the son." It says, "Oh, my mother raised me up. My father never around." It's always that.
It's always. I don't know if they tell them what to do or something, but for some reason they have to speak. My dad was never here. Look, man, this is the process. Teach the female how to, like these kids, they grow up to hate their father.
Yeah.
Their mama always tell them, "You just like your daddy." They teach them to hate male figures, so they could become good slave for the master. Just play basketball. That's why when LeBron James trying to say something, just dribble. Why don't you just dribble? That's all you know how to do. Dribble, nigga. See, because that's what they wanted to produce in the long run. That's why all these women are single. When you single and you got kids, they love when you have children. You can have children. That's a good thing. But be single. So you can train them to be, but they don't like children that are in marriage. You're going to bother the system trying to get rich. And trying to do something with your life. You understand? So, but if you single and got children, yes, we're going to give you help. Section 8, just raise these children so they can be good slave products and be good for the workforce. Understand? That's where it is. All right, read on.
And she would have a limited protective tendency, she would have a limited protective tendency toward her independent male offspring, and she would raise the female offspring to be dependent like her. Not nature had provided time with this balance.
Right. So if she's on the Negro, she's not gonna the males won't depend too much on her because there's a husband in their house. Her females would raise like strong women, you understand? Like real strong women. We're not talking about black strong women today. The female would be like the Proverb 31 woman. Like we can't allow them to be like that. We have to break the female. So the female, you are the target of America, of corporate America.
She said, Lilith says, we reverse nature by burning and pulling one civilized nigger apart and bull whipping the other to the point of death or in her presence.
Right, so they used to do that a lot. They beat the Negro men in front of the women, so they could leave the woman be like, man, in her mind, reversing her psychology, that means that man can't protect me.
Yep.
That man can't do nothing for me, so I gotta rely on the white man. I don't need that Negro. I don't need no man. You understand? I just need the system. Now, there's some more I have here. Get me 1 Corinthians 11 and 9 and 10. And we're gonna go on the welfare system and how it used to be. We need to learn these things. Man. The welfare system.
There's more to it.
I mean, it's a whole book, man.
This
Can't
is
read the
very
whole thing,
important.
man.
I gotta read this.
Okay.
Alright. This one says, it says, by her being left alone, unprotected, with the male image destroyed, the ordeal caused her to move from her psychological dependent state to a frozen independent state. And this frozen psychological state of independence, she will raise her male and female offspring in reverse role. Thank you. For fear of the young man's life, she will psychologically train him to be mentally weak, independent, but physically strong.
Right, because of what she's seeing, she's gonna raise that young man to be weak. This is all, look, everything that you see being played out, man, this is all part of the program. The way the black woman talk in America, this is all that's a robot talking. You've been pre-programmed. You understand? So go ahead, man. 1 Corinthians 11, verse 9. But guess what? With the Most High help, man, we hope the Most High will protect and keep us so we can instruct our women back. We can bring them back, man. Because you sisters are gone. Read that.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 1. Be ye followers of me, even as I
1
also.
Corinthians 11 and 3.
1:3. 1 Corinthians 11 verse 3.
Bring that up.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Mashiach, and the head of the women is the man. And
The head of the woman is who?
and the head of the women is the man.
So that's what Willie Lynch is talking about. We don't want him to be the head no more. We want the system to be the head. We don't want her to be dependent on the men. We gonna be her boss now.
Can you pick that thing from him?
Read on that. The head of the woman is the man. Read.
The head of every man is Mashiach, and the head of the women is the man, and the head of a Mashiach is the Most High.
Right. Get me Genesis 3 verse 1 and 5.
Genesis 3 verse 1 through 5.
Genesis, okay.
Actually, before you go there, get me 1 Corinthians 11 verse 9 and 10. Then we're gonna go to Genesis. 1 Corinthians 11 verse 9 and 10.
1 Corinthians 11 verse 9 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
1 Corinthians 11 verse 9. Neither was the man created for the women, but the women for the men.
The woman was created for the men. Alright?
For this cause of the woman to have power on her head because of the angels.
Right. A lot of people don't understand what's being said here. It says, for this cause of the woman to have power on her head because of the angels. That's a little complicated. But it says the woman have to have someone over her because of angels, not righteous angels, wicked angels. This for this cause that the woman need to have someone watching over her because of wicked influence. That means when she doesn't have an influence over her, she don't have someone over her, she get influence easy.
Yep.
Because of the angels. We're talking about demonic forces and both your enemies. Well, we know your enemies are using demonic spirits and all type of stuff. You understand? But let's go back. You see, because of angels, of wicked spirits, that the men should be over the woman. Because the woman always getting attacked by this spirit. So she can react certain ways she shouldn't. She should talk stories she shouldn't talk. Right? So let's go back in Genesis. Let's give you a primary example of what's being talked about here. Genesis 3 and 1 to 5.
Book of Genesis chapter 3 verse 1 through 5. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Most High the power had made.
Right, read.
And he said unto the woman, Yet hath the Most High said, He shall not eat of every tree of the garden.
Right, we know that's not a simple serpent. There's a spirit on that serpent. That's one of those cases for angels. Right? Read on.
Verse 2. And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden.
But why didn't the serpent go to the man though? You see, from the start, Satan never wanted to use the man. He loved the woman. Because he stand a chance trying her. And he knows that. Okay? You are going to be the main tool he's going to use. And we just read that and we lunch that. Break the woman so we can co-op the nation.
First Genesis.
With Genesis 3 and 1 through 5. You understand? You sisters have always been a target of the devil from the start. Read on.
But the fruit of the tree which is in the meat of the garden, the Most High had said, He shall not eat of it, neither shall he touch it, lest he die.
Right, read.
And the serpent said unto the woman, He shall not surely die. For the Most High do know that in the day he eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and he shall be as God, knowing good and evil.
Now, a lot of time we miss something here. It says, you, woman, your eyes shall be open, And ye shall be as gods. It's not talking about gods as Adam and Eve gonna be gods. You guys see plural in there. It's like, oh, that must be Adam and Eve. It's talking about ye women as pure. I'm gonna make you a god if you eat that fruit. you women on the earth, you're gonna take the power to yourself now.
Ye, that's the same
You.
word.
Women, you're gonna be gods on this earth. I'm gonna put you over the man.
Yeah.
That's the deal. You eat that food, you become a god. I'm gonna reverse the roles. And he should keep his promise.
And that's why Isaiah 3 verse 12, Moses says, the children are gonna be our oppressors.
And women gonna
Women
rule
gonna
over us.
rule over them.
The women become the gods of this earth.
Yep.
You understand? That's the deal Satan cut with a woman. So whenever you talk about independent black women, you under that contract with the devil.
That's right.
Because that's not God never wanted. God said the head of the women is who? Is the man. So anyone you see talking about the black independent woman, you under the rule of Satan, man. You in contract with him. Because he promised you to make you a God if you disobey God. What happened? You never become God? Well, in this world you are. Believe it or not, because you go to your job. What does that mean to be God? God means to be head, to be a head. To have control. You understand? But you might not be in high governments, but we're talking about for our people. Remember, Eve is not, although everybody come from Eve, but you black women carry her DNA. This is why God chose Israel, because Israel carried that very original DNA. And if you think I'm lying, look it up online. There's a black man, I think in Louisiana. They found the DNA of Adam in him, the original man. He's one of the few people, because that's why God said you're a chosen generation. You're a chosen gene. That's what generation means, chosen gene. Because why God loves you so much and trying to preserve you and trying to not you mix with the other nations? Because your gene is precious. You are the original thing he used to make all mankind.
I think the Hebrew system is supposed to feel she's God on this world.
Right, we're not supposed to, but Satan make that. Right. Right, but that's how our women are. But here's the thing. So you are Eve, you are the original gene, and we are Adam. Let me say that. You are Eve, we are Adam. That's why the Most High say, Israel, you are a holy people. You separate. Be separate from these nations. Don't mix with them. Because you are a chosen gene. You are a chosen DNA. So today, although the black woman might not be in power, like let's say they make her a god, but she's a god over Adam. Right? If you're going to be a god, you better be a god over somebody. That's what makes you a god at the end of the day. But now, what they do, when you go to your job, your managers all are, and I used to, that's one of the reasons I quit my job. I used to have a couple of women, man, they're yelling at you, oh, you can't take your 15 right now. God, it's honest, man.
I'm always on the problem with that word.
You can't do that. Oh, why don't you just go do that? Like they're yelling at you.
And sometimes they don't talk to you like, an appropriate way.
Right.
They
And especially like, again, mainly because, you see, that's the spirit of Satan.
Yeah.
You understand? Even a sister, if you want to put management position, still humble yourself as much as you can. You understand? But don't, because once Satan gives them that power, they feel so prideful, man. These women in there, man, they're treating men like trash. That's one of the things I didn't want to go to work, because whenever I see these women, like they talk to you, they want to do it, they want. I'm a man, man. I don't accept you talking to me like that.
Yeah, I feel
And you feel less of a man.
Yeah.
That's how I feel when these women yelling over me.
it hurts my
That's why,
bones.
man, I know that truth now. And I went to Chick-fil-A one day, and that young brother, he went to ask that lady, can I take my 15? Don't you see we busy? And like, look, she started yelling at him. I'm like, The man just asking for his 15, man. Wow. And I remember the misery I used to what I used to go through at that job, man. You can't stand for, I used to stand for 6 hours. You know, I would ask for a break. That lady would go off. Oh, we busy. I'm like, it's the law. After 4 hours, you support. I don't care about that. It's not my problem. See? But now, that's what's going on. Eve is over Adam now.
No, the thing is, once
Because the devil put him there. Literally Esau.
yeah.
That's what's going on. Alright, so get me Genesis 2 and 18.
Genesis 2 verse 18.
Read.
Genesis 2:18. And the Most High said, "It is not good for that the man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet for him."
Right, so this is why the Most High created the woman. To be a helpmeet. To be the supervisor. You understand? To be there, you know, side by side with that man and help him out. You understand? So if you're at a job, you bring someone to help you out. You don't expect that person to be your boss, do you?
No.
Okay, so the woman was created as an helpmeet. That's why Paul said the woman was created for the man. Now this is hard stuff to take, but guess what? If you've been brainwashed by Satan, this is really hard stuff to take. Because you've been taught equality. Remember, that's all Willie Lynch. That's how they separate you from the black man. Dependence. If you don't take that correction, you're going to be a strong, independent black single one for life. And no one wants you to be two men in the house.
And as I told you, man, my landlord, that gave me a good example. Man, when I'm seeing that lady, sometimes one day she fell on the floor. If I was in here, she was gonna die, man. Literally, she fell. She was, and I run downstairs to help her out, and I brought her to the hospital. That's because, like, she had a man and she drove him out. Now she's by herself.
She's singing. Who sung that song? Lonely, Mr. Lonely. Right? She's singing Mr. Lonely.
It's not good.
She ain't got nobody. Alright? So that's what's going on out here, man. But guess what Satan did? Satan said, you know what? The Most High created her to be a helpmeet. I'm going to empower her. Get me Ecclesiasticus 25:22.
Ecclesiasticus 25:22.
Read that, right?
The women, book of Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 25:22.
Read.
A woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach.
Right, so the devil know that. If a woman maintain her husband, she's full of impudence. Well, you see, I've seen that so many times. You got sister, men used to take care of her, but he falls sick. He can't work no more, but now it's the sister's turn to take care of him. Now it's a problem. Now she's full of impudence. Look at her. Look!
Sitting down every day,
Just eating my food. You know, paying rent, burning electricity.
Now, before she used to say, "Baby, come eat on the table." Now she just leave the food on the
Now if you want to
oven.
get
If
it,
you gonna get it, you get it.
that's if she even cook it. That's if she cook it. Sometimes I go to a restaurant. You understand? So this is what's going on. Now it's a natural thing. If the Bible tells you it's a natural thing. For a man to be able to take care of a woman and he's fine, he ain't gonna curse out. Well, some men do, but it's not most men. Because men know it's their responsibility to provide.
Right.
You know, but most women, they ain't with that. You know, providing for a man, they ain't with that. So the Bible says whenever a woman take care of a man, she's full of impudence.
Security.
You understand? Read on that.
And wicked women abated the courage, maketh in heavy countenance, and a wounded heart. A woman that will not once again, Ecclesiasticus 25:22. A woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach.
Read.
A wicked woman abated the courage, maketh in heavy countenance, and a wounded heart. A woman that will not comfort her husband in distress maketh weak hands and feeble knees.
Right, so let me tell you a secret, sisters. The secret is the more you women are putting the black men down, the more the weaker the men becomes. You see, it's one thing that the white men used to beat us in slavery, but now our women turn against us too. You understand? Our women turn against us too. The Bible says if the woman won't comfort her husband, she's only making him weak and weaker. That's what's happening to the black man. He's losing confidence because his women treat him like trash. Everybody treat him like trash. The last people he expected not to treat him like trash is his women, but his women treat him like trash. Like he's nothing. After all that we've been through, especially the men. You women had it a little bit easier in slavery than us. Because we used to be the one picking cut. Y'all would sleep inside with the women. The women would sleep mainly inside. But the men would be the one in the sun. Y'all would have house jobs, but we would be field niggas. You understand? And we get beat down every day. So after all that, guess what? Our women turn against us. That's why all these black men, they're depressed. They don't know what to do with life. Some of them, even if they release them out of prison, they're like, man, the prison, my home. I gotta do some crime to go back here. I don't even, they're depressed, man. They don't even want to live out here.
Because when they come outside, they cannot find a job, and everything is against them. Like, hey, the jail is their resting place.
Right.
That's where they belong.
So what's going on? So the Bible says when the woman will not comfort her husband, like when he come home and you want, as soon as he come home, it's in your mouth. He hears running, guess what? You make him weaker and weaker every day. You destroy his confidence, his psychology. You understand? So this is what's going on. Like when you hear women talking about, that's why we're scared, man. We don't want to get a woman that's putting us down and talking about she's strong, independent. We're taking you home to destroy our confidence. We'd rather be single as a dollar. You understand? Read on, man. Verse 24.
Verse 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die.
Right, through her we all die. That's what we talk about in Genesis. You understand? The woman is the beginning of sin. Meaning, when she inflict pains, she inflict pains on everybody. You understand? Or to her we die. So what that verse is telling you, if Satan want to destroy you, it's gonna go through your woman.
Because women is the beginning of sin.
And there's no hurt but the hurt of a woman. Actually, it says that a little bit earlier. It says there's no wickedness but the wickedness of a woman. And if she want to hurt you, man, she going to hurt you. You understand?
It says, verse 25, give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to guard abroad. Right,
to guard abroad. God means to go aimlessly. You understand? To get instruction from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Make sure when you have your wife, if she's listening to some garbage on Facebook, be like, not in my house. Don't give her passage to be listening to trash, man. Because soon she start talking like these people she hear.
And even if she's good.
Yeah, even if she's good.
Sometimes they get influenced. Next thing you know, your wife is talking to you like, she be saying some stuff like, what the heck you get that from? Like, that's because she's been listening to trash. Understand? And get influenced by, all the factors. Verse 26. 26. If she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh, and give her a bill of divorce, and let her go.
Right. So that's what that means when the Bible say, if your eyes offend you, cut it off. It's not talking about little your eyes. So even the closest people to you, if they prevent you from following the Most High, cut them off. That's why it says, cut her off your flesh. It's not your little flesh, but as the Bible says, the woman become one flesh. Your children are also part of your flesh.
Yeah.
If they prevent you from serving the Lord, cut them off.
Yep.
Okay, that's what's going into. But now,
Let me read verse 26. In chapter 26. Onward.
read that. So this is a document about the welfare system that the black women, and they'll grant you Section 8 and food, but this is all racism too. Until this very day, the same thing, right? You may start here. We ain't reading the whole thing.
The title of it is Social Welfare, expanded in the 1960s. Several mechanisms were used to enforce blacks' indentured servitude.
Right. So indentured servitude. Okay, so some things used to happen after we were free. Some slaves owed the slave master, quote unquote, owed. Although we worked for them for years, the slaves still owe the slave master. Fine. And they say, well, you can't pay me, you gotta keep working for free because you owe me. And when you wanna leave, you thought you were done. They say, well, all these years you were paying no rent. You gotta keep working. That's why even in the 1960s there were slaves. They were still slaves, although they were so-called free because they were so-called indentured servants, because the slave master said they owed them. You can never leave because, well, you owe rent, you owe food, you owe all this. So you got to keep working because now you owe something.
Despite all your labors you've done.
Right. So now the government set up mechanism to keep some slaves though, they left the plantation anyway, they didn't owe, but the government wanted them to go back to the plantations. That's what they did. Let's see some of the things they did.
Number one, kicking people off of the welfare rose during the growing season when labor demands were high and an organized workforce could bargain for better wages conditions. Meaning many had little choice but to work in the fields, even mothers with children at home.
Right, so what would they do during these picking seasons? Those people, the black people that used to be on welfare, they take them off. So they have no choice but to go work for little wages.
Economic strategy.
They're still doing the same thing. Your welfare, if you depend on them, at a certain point, if they want you to go to work, they'll cut it off. Same system still being used today. You see, but the thing is, if we don't go back in time and read their policies, we won't understand this puzzle. Y'all need to go back in history. Stop wasting time on Facebook and YouTube, man. Read. Nigga, read. You understand? Go back and read what used to happen. You'll understand clearly how this system operates. And that's how you can get out of it. All right, read on.
Resident laws require people to leave for a certain period of time before being eligible for assistance. Were used to keep people from moving and collecting welfare in another location.
Right, so there's residence laws where they say, okay, look, we want you, before we can give you a job, before we can give you assistance, we want you to live in that location for 2 years, let's say 2 years, right? So that means if you actually want welfare, you got to be in one place. That means you have no choice now but to go slave for the white man. Because if you can move and get job somewhere else, let's say the little wage they're gonna pay you is not enough, and you wanna move somewhere else, then they're gonna be like, well, you gotta be here for 2 years to help you out. So that means you have no choice but to go work for the white man in the field. Policies, all the policies are crafted to keep you in the workforce. Read on.
3. Benefits were adjusted to local labor markets. Remember the principle that welfare should be less appealing than the lowest employment opportunities. So where they hired, Alabama and Manhattan. Poor families with two parents were excluded from receiving AFDC until 1961 using the able-bodied argument.
Right. So let me say this right here. That said, look, the welfare was adjusted based on the market. Basically, it's still the same today. Meaning they won't give you enough. They'll give you a little bit to keep you dependent on them, but won't give you enough so you can get a job. You understand? Meanwhile, a lot of people think, oh, that's normal. But did you know white people got more benefits than black people although they're working? They actually got way more welfare in the system than us. So you really work. So the thing is, they want us to work. That's the thing.
Your job,
Understand?
they said don't share wages.
Don't share pay rate.
Pay rates.
Right.
So that way, you know, when you don't discuss that, you don't know how much they get paid. Doing the same job, and little Johnny just came in, and he's getting paid higher than you do.
Oh yeah, that's why we don't discuss wage. So all that's how they keep this system. All right, read that out. Verse we in 4.
And 4. Poor family with two parents were excluded from receiving AFDC until 1961.
And this law still being used in the islands and sometime here too. I don't know, not in Florida, but it used to be popular. Like if you got two parents, they can help you. You have to be single. So I've seen that in Guadeloupe, where I used to be in the islands. I went there. What's happening? No women got husband. In there every week they're getting pregnant. Wow. They're getting pregnant, no husband. Because the government would literally come to their house and see if there's men clothes in their closets. Like for me to help you, you have to be single. Yeah. You see? This is those racism, this is those things that they create the single black women. So they could execute the Willie Lynch letter. So they can then take the men out. Right? And they used to say, the black men used to have to go through windows at night when these people would come at midnight to see if you got a husband in the house. Really? You have to do all that? You understand? You have to do all that for help. And they put our people in the situation where we needed help. Because they free us, they give us no money. So we were set up from the very beginning, man, for all this stuff. Yeah, so you gotta divorce him. You got for if you're not getting paid enough, you're not getting enough money, leave your man. We're gonna help you. Dividing family, because they understand if family's in there and you're getting food stamps, there's a chance you'll build a business and you'll get out of the workforce. They don't want that.
You know, one thing you gotta understand, they don't care of spending money. They've got money already.
Right.
They care of destroying you.
Right.
That's what we don't understand as a people. If they care about money, then they wouldn't spend millions of dollars just to tell for a rapper to just sing about a woman, a black woman, or whoremongers.
They don't care about that. When
about
the brothers say they're destroying you, keeping you in the destructive state, keeping you destroyed so they can profit. As I say, you are the labor force. When they talk about workforce, they're not talking about white people. They're talking about blacks and Hispanics. You are the workforce. They can afford you to have business, self-sufficient, so you don't leave the workforce. So you all need to understand what has happened to our people. They want you single. They want you to be talking about a black, strong, independent woman. It's good for the system. Like that, you raise good slaves. It's great. Now let's read on. Let's see some of the things they use.
Black single mothers were discriminated against.
Right, read on.
Midnight raids and men in the house rules if caught with another man in the house, she would lose benefits. Totally unconstitutional, but still in practice in the South.
Right.
This is
So,
what people saying.
as I was saying, man, they would literally come to your house. That's why now a lot of women had to stay single for a long time. You understand? So this is all Willie Lynch until this very day. They use other means to do this. Look, man, if you don't understand, let me tell you, America is an unfinished stairs. Every time black people step on one stair, it goes higher. They build it higher. So we can never find the top. If a black man make it at the top, they rebuild it. They build it higher. Like, we can't let all of them figure that out. And they're doing all that through their policies. All their policies are racist policies. You understand? And we telling you that. The zoning laws, there's zoning laws. You can't, today they don't say you can't go live in my house when they'll just give you requirements they know you can't meet. They'll say, well, you can come and leave, just give us $100,000 and you gotta have this, you gotta have that, your credit gotta be 900, you know? Like that's another way to say back off. You can't live here.
I'm not racist.
I'm not racist, I'm just gonna use my racist system. Is there system? You know? I just don't want you to live here, but I can tell you, I'll use my system to tell you. And the Negro don't understand the illusion. They're really, oh, you know, it's America, it's the system. Well, it's racist. The land of the, no, the land of this, I don't know what land is this. You understand? Read 11 right quick. Another thing to keep us.
11. Work training was often required in low-wage sectors.
Right.
Menial jobs such as dishwashing, house cleaning.
Okay, so let me say this. Everybody with me? Right. It says work training was required for the Negro. Now, what happened right now if you lose your job? What happened? You're going to file for unemployment. What else they're going to do? They're going to require you to do. You got to sign up with what? With the workforce. I don't know if you guys went to unemployment before. But you have to sign up with the workforce for them to help you. You see, the system still connect. Welfare and workforce is still the same thing. Just like it was back then. You understand? For you to have certain things, you got to subscribe to the workforce. Stay down, Negro. You understand? So this is the whole purpose of the black and the man. You guys got to know. Okay, you playing the devil's hand, right where he wants you. But the Bible says you shall know the truth and what? The truth shall make you free. Okay, but you got to know it. You got to understand it. All right? Get me on the last one. We're closing with that one. Get me Ecclesiasticus 25:16.
Sirach 25:16.
Actually, yeah, hold that. Proverbs 14 verse 1. Then we're going back, right? Proverbs 14. We're going to finish with Ecclesiastes.
Proverbs 14 verse 1.
Read.
Every wise woman builded her house.
What a wise woman do?
Every wise woman builded her house.
If you're a wise woman, what you're going to do? You're going to build your house. You're going to build your men up. You're going to build your kids up. That's what you do if you're wise. Because you know the advantage of it. You're going to get you a good man. You're going to build him up. You're going to support him 100%. If he's doing a business, you're going to invest. His money is your money. Your money is his money. If you wise, that's what you're going to do. You ain't going to talk about I'm a black independent woman. But let's see, what there's two types of women. There's a wise one. Read, what's the other one?
But the foolish pluck it down with her hands.
But the foolish gonna destroy her own house with her own hands. That's talking about with her doings, with her mouth.
Yes.
Okay, she gonna destroy everything she built. But if you wise, man, you're gonna build yourself up. You're gonna build your husband up. Okay? And this is the most dangerous thing for America, brothers and sisters. The biggest weapon for America is family. I'm gonna say it again. The biggest weapon against America is build a family. It's a big threat. Okay? If you can build good children, build good household that are actually producing business, take his money from his system and build family, that's dangerous stuff. This is why they don't like us Hebrews, man, but the Lord is on our side, though. Can't touch none of us. You see? And we're going to tell the truth how it is.
You ain't got nothing to do.
If you want to hurt America, it's not with weapons. It's not with guns. You don't need to lift up. The KKK and the Proud Boys got enough guns to hurt America. We don't need none of that. They're going to do that for us. You understand? The best way to hurt them is to actually build your families. So you can no longer need the housing system. You can no longer need, no longer live on them, their stores and their workforce. That's the best thing. We need to live in family and find a way to live as family. And save money and build ourselves up. I know they're going to make it difficult. Because there's parking laws, only one car per parking. There's all kind of laws to keep you all apart. I'm telling you, be aware of these laws and see how you can adjust yourself. But the worst thing is not knowing what's going on against you. You understand? You know how the laws are. You understand? Just make sure you work some way. Save your money. Don't waste money. Because that wasting attitude that we have as a people gotta go. If we're gonna have to make it out of this system, we cannot let Lisa come on TV and be like, Christmas is coming, and have a black man smiling so you can spend all your money. Because we ain't getting enough for this. All right, let's finish that, man. Ecclesiastes 25:16.
Ecclesiasticus 25.
25:16.
Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 25 verse 16.
Bring it out.
I had rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman.
Read that again.
Ecclesiasticus 25 verse 16. I had rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman.
Right, you see that? This man say, man, I'd rather dwell with a lion. I know I got it quick there. Than I dwell with a wicked woman. You understand? Because it's gonna be constant. Your death is slow and painful. You understand? You have no peace, my friend.
Moving with a constant velocity.
Right? At least that lion and that dragon give you a quick death. It's over with.
You all know it.
You understand? But that woman every day she got something to say. She give you no peace, no rest. Read on.
Come home and you're in the car, you be like,
Man, the devil's in there.
like, come in.
Read on.
Verse 17. The wickedness of a woman changed her face and darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth.
Right. Sackcloth. Right. When she become wicked, her face changed. You understand? And she got that look. You got no chance. It's about to drop. Words. Read on.
Her husband shall sit among his neighbors, and when he heareth, it shall sigh bitterly.
When you hear,
John! John! Where you at?
that's my wife. Who's that, John?
That's her.
You know. My wife. She's screaming 3 miles away. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just walk and tell me, hey, I need to talk to you.
Tariq, where you at? These women need to sit over there and doing it and just eat all day.
Or she come in the midst of your friend, got you here.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
These are the kind of women we scared of, man. That's why your brother's taking their time. You see, that's why this man said I'd rather he was in the lion's peak, man. Alright? Well, you got these women, man. They don't know no time, no place. You're in the middle of your friends, they'll embarrass you. You understand?
Like I died.
Right? They don't know the time and the place. They've been brainwashed. We don't.
Verse 18. Her husband shall sit among his. Verse 19. All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of her sinner fall upon her.
Right. Basically due to Eve, man. You understand? Because when she wicked, man, she affect everybody. That's what the white men know. That's why she using the woman. Because no wickedness is more wickedness than women. Why? Because the woman will pass on that wickedness to her children.
Yeah.
You understand? That's what the white men know. That's why he created Willie and Shadow. He said, man, if I make her wicked, that's good. That's generational wickedness.
Train her children.
She's going to keep training them and they're going to become wicked just like her. You understand? This is why the Bible's put it like that. And they know that. So that's why you sisters are a target. We're telling you many times. Read on that.
Verse 20. As the climbing up a sandy way is to Slakia. As the climbing up a sandy way is to the feet of the aged, so is the wife full of words to a quiet man.
Right. So the wife is for just like when you work in the sand. That's how you know it sound when your wife is talking. And you ain't saying nothing.
Just talk to you.
And she just talking. You understand? She got words. She won't even breathe. She's talking. It's like, breathe. It's like, it's like 150 per mile. Per hour. Alright. But when you look, you're kind of, I gotta get up. You're kind of, it's like, you can't say, my auntie talks so much. I wonder if that was my wife. I'll leave that house. Man, and let me tell you, man, you know, most are blessed if you got a woman that actually is moderate. You understand? Because, man, you get a taste of it. Because my wife, usually, she's like, you know, but when I get a taste of it, it's already too much. It's like something, oh, man, here it comes. You know? So when we hear about an independent black women, that's what we hear. We hear, damn, we gotta get out of here. Read on.
Verse 21. Says, stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for pleasure.
Right, so remember, don't stumble at the beauty of a woman. Don't choose a woman for beauty. But if her mindset ain't right, don't do it, man.
Yeah.
That beauty gonna turn ugly right quick. See, beautiful women, beautiful danger, man. Beauty is vain, man, as the Bible says. I'll tell all my brothers, they can testify, and I heard them say, you can learn to love a woman. Don't look at the beauty. Okay? Don't look at that shouldn't be your priority. Because you just don't know how marriage be these days. You just married sick. You're gonna know.
Next thing you know, you can't get home.
You can't, because you ain't got no home.
You ain't got no home.
The devil take over your house.
She took your home.
She took your stuff. Alright, so on that, You know, let's follow the Most High. Let's return. Let our women repent. As I said, you're a target of a system, a confusing system. So let's return to the laws and become virtuous women and building righteous husbands, but building righteous children as well. And so we as a people can be saved. Come. All praise to the Most High. I imagine la pagne Jerusalem. Let's stand and face Jerusalem.
Before we go, guys, don't forget tonight we'll be here for the closing of Purim. Okay? And we bring the gifts. Bring the gifts, okay, for the closing.
Hallelujah. Rakata Hawa, Hashem, Hamashiach, Yahushai, Anatananu, Wayom, Hashabat, Bashalom, Borak, Israel, Shamar, Nu, Shamar, Israel, Yeshai, Israel, Todah, Amen. What we say in the Hebrew, thank you, Yahweh, for the Shabbat day. Bless Israel, protect Israel, save Israel, to all the Tamyan. Amen. We thank you, O Most High Power, for this beautiful Shabbat day that you have given us, a day of understanding and knowledge, a day of meditation on thy word that can make us wiser into the day of thy return. Thank you for all this understanding that the world doesn't have. But poor men that we are, you have revealed the deep secret of Esau, and now we have known them so we can pass it on to our children and make them understand with a clear eye view of what we are up against and what we're dealing with. We pray that you continue opening our eyes and that you give us enough wisdom to take actions based on what we know, and that we can move forward and be free from this wicked and evil system that intend to keep us in the working class and in poverty and in destruction to their own advantage and their gain. We pray that you save us, save Israel around the world. Bless all those that keep the Shabbat day. Bring unity among the people. Destroy the works of the devil among us. And let all those that come against Israel be confounded. We pray and ask all these things by Hashem Mashiach Yahushai, the one Tamyan. Amen. Shabbat Shalom Yisrael. Shabbat Shalom Yaakov. Baruch Hashem Israel. Hallelujah. Hashem Yahweh. Shabbat Shalom Yisrael. Shabbat Shalom Yaakov. Baruch Hashem Israel. Hallelujah. Hashem Yahweh. Give the Most High hand. Hallelujah. All praises and honor and glory to the Most High Power for giving us this Shabbat day. Remember your donations and commitment with the community. The boxes